the 2020 and 2021 disasters were packaged from the congressional perspective. So again, we're talking Laura, Delta, Ida. And the idea is we are here in the western part of the state trying to get the allocation for Laura Delta out. We're saying May 31st. We have to get the money out. We have to have the applications in so that we can process and get them to the state. So again, the Ida side is pretty well oversubscribed, but on this side, we have room for many more applications, and we need people to come in and complete that paperwork.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Deborah Randolph, President of the Central Louisiana Regional Chamber of Commerce. And the Chamber is pleased to host this informational news conference with the South Central Planning and Development District and the City of Alexandria today. We've been pleased to provide office space for the South Central Planning and Development District here at the Chamber for the past year, for the staff to work from a local venue to identify small businesses that could benefit from the loan program designed to help those who were financially impacted by the 2020 and 2021 disasters. We're happy to continue to be conduits of information to Chamber members and the entire community about this program, and it's critically important at this juncture because time is running short for small businesses to apply. We appreciate the efforts of Mayor Jacques Roy and the City of Alexandria to help spread the word, and I'm honored to call Mayor Jacques Roy to the podium.
Thank you, Deborah. Well, what I like to tell people on a day like today is it's your money, so come get a piece of it back. This project, Restore Louisiana, is a $1.2 billion project, $50 million of which came to Louisiana, and 37 of that 50 of which has been designated for the South Central Planning and Development Commission. We appreciate the Chamber hosting these folks here. We recently made an announcement at Rotary to try to get people to come and use these loans. $33.5 million is designated to loans, $3.5 billion to administering the program. So this is, all the money is really coming back in the form of those loans. The goal here is to expend about $8 million before a May deadline. What's the date of that deadline, guys? May 31st. May 31st. And so this is, we need to be hurried about it, but we need to also make sure we get as many people using this as you can. This is a 0% interest opportunity, so you're not going to get money cheaper than that anywhere, and 40% of this is forgivable. So this is a really big opportunity for people in our area in business to get an opportunity they wouldn't otherwise ever see. You're not going to see this in traditional commercial lending. So please, everybody, take this information down and try and participate if you have need in this great program. I'm going to call up former Senator Noble Ellington, and we'll talk a little bit more about it as the senator approaches. So I want to make sure, come on up, Noble, that we got this. So we got 0% interest, no payment for 6 months, and it's a 7-year loan term. Is that correct?
That is correct.
All right. Well, tell them a little bit more about it, and we just look forward to being able to partner and help.
Thank you. Thank you, Mayor. Deborah, thank you for hosting this today. I did have the opportunity to serve Central Louisiana once upon a time in the legislature, and y'all have been awfully good and awfully nice to me. But we would just like to encourage you, if you have a small business, and that would be one from 1 employee to 50 employees, if you have that and you suffered any loss from Hurricane Laura or Hurricane Delta, then this money can be available for you. And as the mayor has said, 0% interest, 40% forgivable. So we just want to encourage you, getting the word out to the fact that we have this money available has not been the easiest thing. So we just appreciate this today to get this out to the people of Central Louisiana. So thank you, Deborah, and Mayor, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Ellington. You'll always be Senator Ellington to us.
Thank you.
I'm pleased to call on Cullen Curall of the South Central Planning and Development Commission to share the information about the loan program in detail with us.
Hello there, thank you for having us. I'd like to start with a 30-second PSA that was produced for us, so let's go to the...
Help is on the way for small businesses and private nonprofits that suffered from two of the largest storms in recent years. The Restore Small Business Loan Program is offering to eligible small businesses zero interest, 40% forgivable loans from $10,000 to $150,000 and up to $250,000 with approved exception. Deadline is May 31st or until funds are expended. Apply online or call for more information.
The program is designed to assist impacted small businesses with non-construction expenses. And I'll start with that. If you had damage to your physical building, that will help make you eligible, but we're not going to try to fix your roof. What we're going to try to do is fund working capital or equipment so that it is less burdensome with regard to the paperwork. Again, with the federal government, federal money doing construction, you have additional laws that you've got to follow. It's a little bit more complicated. So what we're going to do is use your damages to help make you eligible, but then we're going to design a loan that will be easier to comply with. This is for small businesses, and I also want to say it is for nonprofits. Nonprofits that have some sort of business within them. It's the church that has a daycare center. It's the nonprofit that has a concession stand. If a nonprofit has earned income within the being of that nonprofit can apply using the kind of the for-profit business that is within. These are the parishes, again, on the Ida side, the dark gold, but again, that's not what today is about. Laura and Ida is the light blue area. It follows the path of the two storms. I think Laura, both of them started in Lake Charles, made its way a little bit further to the west, and then Delta went straight up through here and through the Monroe area. So again, this is the program area. Your business needs to be operating in one of these light blue parishes. How does your particular business deem itself eligible? How will we decide if you are eligible or not? As Mr. Noble, Senator Noble said, at least one employee. And that one employee can be you, the owner. If you can demonstrate and attest that you work your business, I swing that hammer, I do whatever it is that your business does, you can be considered that one full-time equivalent employee. No more than 50 employees. What we're looking for are mom and pop small businesses that need our help. The business has to have been open at the time of the disaster, and you must currently be operating or demonstrate the ability to reopen. If you have not reopened, there is still a chance. You'll have to do a business plan to show how these funds can help you reopen, but that opportunity is still there. You have to have had a minimum $25,000 gross revenue in the year prior to the disaster. So your 2019 taxes have to show a minimum of $25,000 gross revenue. This is intended on making sure that we have enough money for full-time businesses and not people with sideline type businesses. The biggest bullet on this screen is an either or. So the last piece of eligibility is that you either have to have $10,000 in physical damage, and again, you have to evidence that $10,000 of damage with third-party evidence, not just I said, or a $20,000 decline in revenue. Now, a decline in revenue is comparing your 19 taxes to the 20 taxes, your 20 taxes to the 21 taxes, or your 19 taxes to the 21 taxes. The state has given us a few options to help make sure that you can fit into this program. With the COVID happening in 2020, we know the numbers on a 2020 tax return are sometimes a little wonky and not representative of your business. So again, those last two bullets are an either or. And 10,000 may sound like a large number, but again, a tree falling on your car, a tree falling on your house, these are things that happened in this part of the state for the storm. That dollar amount, believe it or not, can equal to 10,000 pretty easily. So this, again, makes you eligible. So what are you eligible for? And as I said, we don't want to do It's called Davis-Bacon. Davis-Bacon is federal legislation that if you're going to do construction, the bureaucracy doubles. So again, we don't want to do Davis-Bacon. So we're going to offer you working capital, which is number one, and our equipment, which is number two. All of these bullets here we're going to stack. You remember we talked about at least 10,000 up to 150, 250 by exception. Let's stack all of these things. We're going to take the 6 months receipts prior to the storm and then calculate your rent and mortgage payments. So if you have a mortgage on the business property or you rent, take that dollar amount, we're going to calculate out 6 months. Non-owner employee wages and benefits. So again, not the employee this time, but your W-2 wages and even your 1099 wages. Give us 6 months worth of data and we'll calculate 6 months worth of an award. Monthly utilities. Now this is broad. Your gas bill and gasoline, your water, your electric, your phone bill, your cable, your internet. You know what your business uses to operate on a day-to-day basis. Give us 6 months of receipts. We'll create an average and multiply by 6. That's going to be stacked on top of your award. Our inventory. For retail businesses, this is the easiest way to qualify. You sell product, you buy product, give us 6 months worth of receipts of your purchases of your inventory. We'll calculate that out. On the equipment side, you may have lost a piece of equipment for the disaster, for the storm. If you have already replaced that piece of equipment or you have repaired that piece of equipment, we can reimburse you for that repair or that replacement. If you have not yet been able to replace or repair, then go out and get 3 quotes, and we're going to take that number and add it to the stack. We're adding it to create an award number. The last piece of this is how do we make you better able to handle the next storm? So what the state is saying, if you can identify and justify what type of equipment that you did not own, what type of equipment could you describe, and then describe how it would make you better, able, and stronger to recover from the next disaster, because we know there's going to be a next disaster. My easiest example is a trailerable generator, because it does need to be movable equipment, not a part of the building. So again, a movable, meaning a trailer, it's on a trailer, a generator. If you had the local gas station, I know back home, it sometimes took weeks before the power was back. Gas stations weren't operating. Convenience stores, pharmacies, they were not operating because the public utilities were not back on. So if I had that portable generator, I may have been able to reopen my business much quicker. So again, I think that is the biggest and broadest and most exciting piece, because you get to describe, you know your business, what would make you better able to come back after the next storm. And I wish we didn't have another storm coming, but you know that there will be a storm, a disaster, a flood, whatever it is, it's coming, and we want you to be stronger for. And so again, yes, we are almost 5 years later, but I will say we want your business to be stronger now and into the future. You may have recovered, but again, this will give you an opportunity to really re-strengthen your business. How will this be packaged? It is a loan. They like to call it an award, but yes, it is a loan. At least 10,000, all the things that were stacked on that last presentation, list of bullets, we're going to stack them. It has to at least be 10,000. The cap officially is 150, but by exception, and what we're seeing in the files is, people could qualify for $400,000 and $500,000 and $600,000. So it's very easy to demonstrate what they want to see to make this a $250,000 award. So again, let us stack and look at your paperwork and create this award that you would be eligible for. When we package it, we're going to do documents for a loan, a 0% interest loan. We are going to assume that you're going to make your payments, so we're only going to amortize 60% of that number, which means that your monthly payments are going to be lower. And so 6 months, no payments, then we start that 7-year term. And when you get to the end of the 7-year term, or sooner if you choose to prepay, 40% may be forgiven. I say you have to earn the 40%, but what does that mean? It You're going to turn in your tax returns to us every year. You're going to turn in your financials. You're going to turn in the receipts where required. It's not a burden. It's just paperwork. It's dotting I's, it's crossing T's. So again, you pay back 60%. So if I give you $100,000, you pay back 60. The last 40 is forgiven. I think that's a pretty good deal.
What is it that small businesses have to do to be eligible?
Okay, so you have to have at least one employee, and the owner can be the employee if they work their business. No more than 50 employees. We want to make sure that mom and pop businesses get these funds. You have to have been in business for the storm. You have to be currently operating, or the idea is if you think you can, if you haven't been able to reopen, we can help you reopen. With that, you have to have at least a $25,000 minimum gross revenue in the year before the storm, which would be 2019, and meet one of two either-ors. Either reflect 10,000 of physical damage from the disaster, or a 20% decline in your revenue. Now we're comparing, we have three options: 2019 to 2020, 2019 to 2021, or 2020 to 2021. So you got three options there. What's on your tax returns? If you can demonstrate a 20% decline in revenue, it's the either or, that or the 10,000 in physical damage. That will make you eligible.
How can people get more information?
All right, the 1-800 number, 1-800-630-3791, or go to our website, scpdc.org, the initials of South Central Planning Development Commission.org.